So I got a guest, huh? I interviewed somebody. He's a friend of mine. He's a magician. He's going to do some magic. He is also a practicing licensed mental health counselor. Please welcome Tyler Twombly.
Oh, thank you. All right, Brian. I have a little test for you. Now, before I get into this test, I just want to share with you that in my work as a therapist, which I spend my days talking to people, much like we're talking now. So I do therapy from my home these days since the pandemic has changed the way we work. I'm very interested in the assumptions that we make about the world. And part of understanding how we make assumptions is also understanding how we recognize things. So I have a facial recognition test for you.
Okay.
Now, the first one is going to be, maybe it'll be easy, maybe it'll be hard. We'll find out. But, all right. So do you recognize this upside down face?
Yes, it looks like you.
Okay, yes. We turn it that way and voila. It is me.
Yeah.
Classy black and white image. And you were able to recognize that face when it was upside down. So now watch this. When we turn it back, interesting, huh? Nothing happens. Okay, what we're actually going to do, you still recognize the face. We're actually going to put it on this little clip over here, and we'll just let it rest.
Okay.
Now, I have a second face for you, Brian.
Okay.
All right, this one might be a little bit more challenging. I'm not sure. All right, do you recognize this upside down face?
Yes, it looks like me.
Okay, right. All right, it looks like you. All right, now watch this.
That doesn't look like me.
All right, there's something weird. Your face has been altered. But now watch this. This is the real magic part. You know this image is altered right about here.
Yeah.
It looks normal again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. It's your own face. You're recognizing the face, okay? So what's happening here is your brain is taking in all the various parts of the image and putting them together at once, all right? Not taking in the individual parts. So this helps us to understand how we recognize faces. We're not taking in individual parts, we're taking in the whole. Our brain sees the whole picture. We say, okay, we see a mouth, we see eyes and a nose. Got it. Face. Big deal. Your brain stops there. It doesn't go any further. And the thing is, we can make a lot of mistakes when we are sort of going through our daily lives. We're making snap judgments constantly. We're constantly relying on assumptions to keep us kind of functioning in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Now, your face was looking a little weird, but I didn't think that was very polite to come on a show and just mess up someone's face. So I fixed your face.
So, oh my God.
Some interesting stuff about faces here.
That's it.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the trick. that's it,
like,
man.
Yeah, because there's no audience. It's like, who's happy? Oh, it's just me.
This optical illusion is known widely as the Thatcher illusion because one of the first iterations of this particular illusion where, the eyes basically have been flipped upside down and the mouth has been flipped upside down.
Yeah.
Was done with a picture of Margaret Thatcher.
Mm-hmm.
But the illusion still works. When you turn it upside down, your brain just sees those elements of face, eyes, nose, mouth, and just puts it together. It doesn't really care that they're not in the correct orientation. You get the surprise of seeing that, oh my God, my brain is strange in how it functions, but then also, oh my goodness, I didn't even realize that I was seeing something that had changed and I didn't know that was different. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
idea.
I thought it was an interesting way to mix psychology and magic together. And I try to use that in my work as much as I can.
Yeah, so that's interesting. Let's talk about that. So well, first of all, I do want to mention that you were on Penn and Teller's show Fool Us. Fool Us with Penn and Teller. And you did a trick. I'll show a little clip of it of you with a Post-it note. Here it is.
Please welcome Tyler Twombly.
Teller, could you please join me up here on stage? Thank you very much. Thank you for joining me. It's an honor to meet you. You can stand right here. Now, we're going to have you choose a letter, but not just any letter. I'm sure when you were younger, just starting out in your career, you had a big dream, a vision for your life, okay? I want you to think of a big dream that you had that actually came true and the winding path that the pursuit of that dream took you down, all right? So just think of one letter from the alphabet to represent that big dream, and you can whisper it right in my ear once you've thought of it. He can speak. Now, we're going to place that dream inside a perfect little bubble. Not totally perfect, but it'll do. This is Teller's dream, and this is where we start to tell our story. Now, in the beginning, a dream is just a dream. It doesn't go anywhere until that initial exertion of effort sends it off in some direction. Then you gotta make some choices. You probably made some choices, some good, some maybe questionable. Sends it off in yet another. But then, through a series of events, both serendipitous and planned, we wind up where we are right here today. This is for you, and this is just one single page in the story so far. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Tyler Twombly.
What was the entire experience of going on a big national show like that like?
I had made an instructional video for that sticky note trick because I sell that, the instructions on how to do that to magicians,
Yeah,
Because I invented it. I was like, oh, I had these performance videos of that trick lying around from the shoot for that video, and I sent them in, and it was very surprising how quickly they got back to me. Yeah.
Did they help you come up with the script that you did during the show, or?
No, not really. I mean, I wrote that.
Cool.
The whole thing. That's my idea. But they did have some suggestions here or there. They're like, hey, we know what's going to work for television. We have these 8 minutes to film.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but I mean, I had no business being on TV. I'm not.
You really feel that way?
A lot of the guys who go on to that show, I mean, they've had, these big careers in magic, and they
Other TV credits, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like sort of humbled to be there.
Yeah. But so you do have a kind of non-traditional magician's background and current job. Like you said, you had a day job. But part of what you do is you combine the mental health profession with magic, and you make people's problems magically disappear.
Everything's true except that last part.
Oh, okay, that's not true. Oh, all right.
People make their own problems disappear or change. Right.
You can't be like, smoke bombs! You're cured!
Like, oh, these are your negative thoughts. Watch them disappear.
What? What happened?
But the parallels are really strong.
But is there an example of where some kind of issue might prompt something that you learned in magic that'd be helpful?
Yeah. So back to this illusion with the faces.
Yeah.
Assumptions are being made all the time. We're looking at how our thoughts affect our emotions.
Yeah.
We have this term in cognitive therapy called cognitive distortions.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just basically categories of the ways that we, interpret the world negatively. I'll give you a couple examples.
Sure.
Like black and white thinking,
Yeah.
making something like good or bad, and not really being able to see the in-between.
Uh-huh.
Or, negative filtering, where, you get 10 compliments on a sweater, and then one person's like, I don't know if that color goes well with your eyes, and then you're like, what are you going to remember?
The one.
The one per, yeah.
What's wrong with my eyes?
So, right, we do better in our own mental health, I'll say, when we understand that these types of processes are going on constantly.
Yeah.
And it's how we're built. It's important for our survival that we sort of assume the worst, because if we get complacent, maybe we won't eat tonight,
Or maybe we'll make a wrong choice in our life and people will be mad at us and we'll have to deal with shame,
Right.
which is something that we've experienced in the past. I'm just spitballing off the top of my head. I just
No
can't
personal
imagine.
experience
No,
there.
I never experienced disappointment.
So, I mean, the situation that we're in now in this country,
Yeah.
where, first this virus
Yeah.
comes out of nowhere and disrupts everything. And then as, related and on top of that, now we have nationwide protests
Right.
against police brutality.
Yeah.
And it's really bringing into sharp focus the fact that we are going about solving problems in society and in our communities the wrong way.
Yeah.
Not everything can be solved by a guy with a gun. And so we need to pour more resources into social services and things like that. I mean, I know I'm biased because I'm a therapist, but I got into this because I really care about mental health. We have an enormous capacity to, as human beings, to care for one another, but we're not doing it. And so it's just we're reaching this point where it's becoming so obvious that the system that we have now is not built to help people succeed in many cases. It's built to help certain people succeed. I find myself just trying to piece it all together and thinking about, all right, what's my responsibility and what role do I have to play? And, I'm still trying to figure that out.
Yep.
As we all should be.
Right.
And what are the ways in which our worldview needs to change, not tomorrow, but like yesterday. It's easy to sort of get to the point where like everything feels bad,
Yes.
and we don't want to get there because that's when you give up,
Right. I'm very grateful for you coming on and sharing your magic and your wisdom. Tyler Twombly was on Fool Us with Penn and Teller. You didn't fool him, but just real quick, do you think before you went on that they already knew what your trick was and whether or not you'd fool them? Like, was it in the can, or was there a chance?
No, they don't have any idea who they're going to see. You don't get to meet Penn and Teller before, and you don't get to talk to them afterwards. I mean, I did happen to catch them on a bathroom break. They're like, "Hey, that was great, thank you." And it was like,
Nice. That's
yeah,
awesome.
so that was fun. It was a great experience.
Well, thank you again for your time. I'm going to wrap it up. Ladies and gentlemen, that
All right.
was Tyler Twombly.
Thank you.